This morning I heard a good case. We all know that trust is the foundation for any good marriage. The young couple who came into court today really didn't take the time to learn to trust each other, and that mistake brought them to divorce court.
Divorce court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Rochelle Hendrick and Kevin Hendrick. Mr. and Mrs. Hendrick, you have been married for a year and a half. You're already having difficulty. Mrs. Hendrick, you are ready to throw in the towel. Mr. Hendrick, you want to give it another shot. We will talk about that momentarily. I'm going to start with you, Ms. Hendrick. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why it's in so much trouble so soon?
Well, I love Kevin with all my heart, but he's very insecure because he does not love himself first. He loves me too much.
He loves you too much?
Too much.
Give me an example of too much love.
We can go through any, like he just picks the argument. Say if a boy says hi or looks at me, he thinks automatically that I want him. And if he thinks I want him, and he says he's gonna leave me because he can't have me.
Now,
but he has to live for his kids and himself first.
Okay. Now, Mr. Hendrick, are you jealous?
No, it's not at all jealousy.
You're not at all jealous?
I've seen it with my own eyes.
Okay, tell me what you've seen her do that causes you to believe that she's a little suspect.
At first, it probably was insecurity, but then it just became her on social media.
Social media. What is she doing on social media that causes you concern?
Flirting, giving out her number. I've actually grabbed her phone and went through it and seen it, giving out her.
Give me an example of a flirt or an inappropriate message that she has sent.
It's everything. It's just, they'll send pictures. She'll have a picture where she'll have her cleavage out. She'll send it to him.
Now, is it a low-cut dress or are they out?
It's out. The whole,
they can see the entire breast area.
They just can't see the breast. It doesn't matter. Why is she sending it?
Okay. Now, Ms. Hendrick, think back. Because you do admit a bit to being a bit of a flirt.
I got pushed to that. I'll tell you how this started. First, it started off, he used to work late nights and come home at 2 in the morning. He said that he seen a car leaving the house when my 4-year-old is asleep in the bed with me and he didn't come. Ever since that day, he's been insecure. Any man, anything, I'm having sex with him. If I was to talk to the bailiff, I'm messing with him.
You got something going on with Joe.
Yes.
Mr. Hendrick, do you think she's cheating on you?
I think she did.
Give me the most damning evidence you have. Something that will say, yep, she's doing it.
She left one day. She left one day. She left.
Yes.
Went out to a casino or whatever. Met up with somebody she's been with. Took pictures with him. I didn't hear from her the whole night. She didn't come home until the next day. Till 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Now, did you see the pictures?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot.
They were on her phone?
5 days later, yes. I made sure I went through her phone. Seen the pictures of her and this dude.
What were they doing?
Holding each other, taking pictures together.
What now?
I
was just like this with the cat who did my hair, taking a picture before he left.
He's not your ex, is he?
Were you at a casino with an ex and took a picture with him?
I was at the casino with my friend. I seen my ex, and he took a picture. Yes, he did. But you want to know how he seen the picture? I blocked him off of my social media because he was never posting about me. I always used to post about him all the time, and he always made a big deal that I never used to. So I did. I started. And then I see that all he did was just go on and like other people's stuff. He never posted a picture of me. He never said, I love my wife. I always did that. And so I blocked him. Then what are you going to be my friend for? To continue to pick about who is commenting on a picture, why he say you look pretty, why they like this picture. So I deleted him and I blocked him. So what he does that day is he goes onto the boys' page and looks through his pictures and sees that he has the picture between me and him. We wasn't hugged all up. We just took a picture.
Why
okay?
was it?
That was it.
Mr. Hendrick.
Mr.
Hendrick, work with me here. Work with me. Been doing this for a long time. I can pretty much see who's doing what to whom. You're doing it to yourself. And let me explain something to you. You can take a picture with an ex, and it's not a big deal. You post it on. It doesn't mean anything. and I think you're insecure and you're frightened, so everything that she does means a little something more than it really does. But there's nothing wrong with, oh, you run into an ex, hey, click, that's it.
It's not like that. They were associating together, and I went through her phone.
How do you feel that? How do you get that from one photo that they were associating? 2 photos. I took 3 again with my hair dude just a minute ago.
No, I went through her phone and seen it in her phone. Then I seen her and him, that boy texting each other, or not texting, they were calling each other. Then when I go through her phone, I told her to block this kid. She blocked him. Then she adds him again.
Did you block him and then add him again?
Yes, I did.
Knowing that your husband has a problem with this particular individual, why would you invite controversy by reestablishing a connection with somebody that's making him crazy?
Because he played himself.
What do you mean he played himself?
He played himself he causes arguments. Yeah, I shouldn't have did that, but we had an argument, and he purposely texts his ex-girlfriend and say, what you doing tonight, and throws it in my face and thinks that's okay? Yeah, so I busted his windows, and I unblocked the friend.
She got on a dating website.
Did you get on a dating wedding site? Why in heaven's name would you do something like that?
Because, Your Honor, he makes me feel like crap.
Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Mr. Hendrick, you say that your wife is a horrible communicator. Personally, I think neither one of you communicate well. That's just from this position right here. But why don't you tell me specifically how you feel she is unable to communicate?
No talking. Just she locks herself in the room and just dead.
She's talking in here. She seems to be very...
I told.
Yeah, she seems to be very forthright and very, very verbal. Mm-hmm. What's different at home?
If we talk, it goes right into an argument. Or it doesn't talk, we don't talk at all. On our good days, we're great. On our bad days, we're horrible.
Give me an example of how her communication skills lead to either no talking or an argument.
I tell you.
It's everything about the whole social media. She's on there giving her number out, flirting. She got on a dating website.
Did you get on a dating wedding site? Why in heaven's name would you do something like that?
Because, Your Honor, he makes me feel like crap. All I do is be faithful. I take care of my son, I go to work, and I come home. I can't even have 2-3 hours in my room for myself. Yes, I close the door when I get home.
Stop.
Yes, I do, because I need time to myself. I work in a group home. I take care of people. I just like the time to myself. So that's an issue. That's a problem. He calls me all types of names.
How is a dating website a solution
I want somebody
to that?
to love me for me. I told him about when I got sexually abused, and I told him every detail. And you know what he told me after I got finished? Did I get checked? That hurt. Every day that hurt. I hold that in because that's the first thing you can say to me.
You were sexually abused during the course of your marriage?
I'm telling him this.
About something that happened previously.
He don't care. Yes, I used to be a dancer. He throws that in my face. He calls me all type of names. Why would I want to be married to a man who thinks I'm all type of hoes and all type of birds if he don't love me for me? So yeah, I did make a mistake. Yeah, I did, because they tell me like, oh, I would never do that. Oh my God, he said he's not racist at times, but he is. And
what makes you believe he's racist?
Because like one day we get into an argument, I tell him we're gonna call the cops. He tells me, well, they're not gonna believe you. They're gonna believe me over you. And
did he say it was because you were black? Or
yeah. And then every black man that says something to me, oh, I oh, I want to mess with him. But boo-boo, I don't even like dark men. I like light-skinned and white men, and that's his problem. And his thing is, if you honestly knew me, you would know I'm not going nowhere. Because I'm the type of woman, I don't settle for less. If I find better, then he could go. I don't need to cheat at all. He can go. My mama didn't raise no fool, and neither did my grandma.
I did see in your paperwork that he does call you some interesting names. Could you tick them off for me, because I'd never heard them before used quite in that fashion?
He calls me a bird. He calls me a thought. He calls me a whore. He calls me a slut.
You said he called you a whore bird.
A whore and a bird.
What is a bird?
A bird.
I mean, I know what a bird is.
A bird is anything that's going around sleeping with anything that gives them attention. And sorry, I'm not that type, because if you can't pay or treat me or do for me and my son, you can't have my attention or my cookie. Sorry.
Part of the issue is you, and part of the issue is you. Do you believe that this relationship is salvageable? If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. Mr. Hendrick, you told me you wanted to rescue this relationship. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
What do you believe would need to happen from her side of the room that would allow this relationship to continue?
Change your number, delete social media, be my wife.
It's not social media. It's not the phone. It's the fact that you don't believe she's trustworthy, because if she deletes all of that, then you're going to see cars pulling out of the driveway. You're going to see her walking down the street. You're going to see her somewhere and talking to someone. So you have to deal with the issue of trust, not the mechanism by which you believe your trust is being voided. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
And part of the issue is you, and part of the issue is you. Do you believe that this relationship is salvageable?
Yeah, we could fix it, but...
What do you believe needs to happen on his side of the room in order for this relationship to work?
He needs to love himself. Because if you don't love yourself, you can't love nobody else.
Now I'm going to ask the deeper question. What's wrong with you, Mr. Hendrick?
My insecurity.
Okay. So, if you acknowledge that you're insecure, then you must, in the same breath, acknowledge that she's probably not doing everything that you imagine.
I'm not imagining that.
When you say you're insecure, I don't believe you're saying that's a negative quality of yours. I think you're saying that you don't feel secure because she's not trustworthy. So that's not something that's wrong with you. I want to know something that's wrong with you.
I don't know.
Okay.
Besides that,
if you're not self-aware, you're not going to get anywhere.
well, that's my only problem. Like,
No, that's not your only problem. I got a list of 25 things wrong with me. I can tick them off for you right now. Boom, boom, boom. I'm impatient. I can't remember things. I am sloppy. I tend to trust some people and not the others. I make snap decisions about some things. I got a whole lot of things that I can't do well. But they don't run my life. I run my life because I know what they are. And I'm asking you to be man enough to look in the mirror, identify what's wrong with you, and deal with it.
I don't trust people from my past.
Exactly.
I'm gonna leave you alone for a second because you're not with me. Ms. Hendrick, what is wrong with you?
I have a smart mouth. I always have something to say. And I just worked on myself recently, ever since I had my son. I walk away from issues because I get very aggravated really quick. So I tend to just walk away, and that's been working for me. And then I get in a relationship with him where he just wants to keep picking and picking and picking and picking and picking and picking and picking in front of my son, and it's annoying. It hurts.
Now you're almost self-aware. You said you're a smart mouth and always have something to say, and both of those things are very true, and those things are problems. But at the end of the conversation about what's wrong with you, you started talking about what's wrong with him.
Another thing is...
Okay.
I don't like other people telling me that I'm doing something when I'm not.
That's not wrong with you.
That is what's wrong with me because that makes me mad.
No. No.
That takes me out of character.
No. That's what's wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what somebody says or does to you can change who you are and how you respond.
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
the problem. In divorce court, people tell me the most intimate details of their lives. Join the conversation and share your experience on our Twitter page at Divorce Court and on our Facebook page. See how fans deal with their own relationships. The discussion can get heated. Don't miss it. Neither one of you can say anything at all to me from here on out. I have so much I need to say to you. I have very little time in which to say it, and I don't have time to argue. That's number one. Number two is I'm a believer in marriage, and I'm a believer in people, and I'm a believer in self-improvement. I think that you two both have deep psychological issues that you need to deal with, and you won't be able to do it until you understand what they are and accept that you have them and are willing to deal with that before you deal with the other one. So we are going to start with this. Mr. Hendrick, you are not self-aware. You're scared to death for reasons I do not know. But what you have to do is, when you're afraid, you have to work on the fear. Not the things that are causing the fear, but the fear itself. Your sense of personhood, your sense of ability to survive. Let's say she did hop off somewhere and sleep with somebody. It would not kill you. And so what you have to do is feel comfortable about who and what you are and be able to trust. You are every day making yourself miserable in an effort not to be taken advantage of one day. And it's not working for you. It is pushing your wife away. You say you love her, but you're sitting there and trying to shore up a marriage from the outside by building fences, throwing rocks, make sure she doesn't have any entrances or exits, but not by securing her within the warmth and serenity of your heart and your home. That's the way to keep a chick, is to make her not want to go nowhere else. And you do that with love and trust and security. Ms. Hendricks, let me say this to you. You are a little more self-aware than your husband, so you're going to probably have to start this process. Number one, if you allow what anyone says to you bother you, then everybody in the world owns you. You have got to let go of that sense of, I need to be angry and harsh and crazed by all perceived threats in order to maintain yourself as a solid, secure, and cool individual. That's number one. Number two, your child will live whatever chaos you create.
I know.
So what you got to do is you got to learn to be cool. You need to learn to step away from how you feel and ask yourself, is how I'm feeling right now the feeling I need to perform the actions that I need to perform to make a rational relationship? You got a guy that's insecure. So instead of joining a website for dating to get back at him, grown-ups don't retaliate. What a grown woman does says, I'm going to deal with your fear. I'm going to let you see all my little social media because it isn't an issue. It isn't a problem. I'm not doing anything. And if you've got an issue about this one particular dude, don't need to talk to him because it really isn't that important. And you're not giving up your independence by doing that. You're not giving up yourself by doing that. You're giving to your marriage. It is a gift to the union. Do you understand that? It's not a zero-sum equation. So if at the bottom of all of this, it's grow up. And once you grow up, then you will be able to grow together. I'm going to send you to a counselor before you get out of here to get you started. I wish you both the best of luck. This matter is adjourned. Insecurity is one of the most destructive things you can have in a marriage. It makes you spend your time fighting fear as opposed to feeding the union. And that will tear you apart.